Hi there, I'm Jake the Ashen Hollow, and let me just say I think you're pretty damn swell, and thank you for watching my video. In this video, we're going to be going over the Story of Darksiders 3, and then in subsequent videos we'll break down more of the lore, game-tying events, and cool stuff like that. I want to preface this with just one thing. There comes a time in the game where Fury must make two separate decisions, which leads to minor alterations of the ending. I believe there are 2 or 3 endings total, I'm not entirely sure. Probably should have Googled that. Either way, I'm going to include in this video the ending and choices that I believe give us more information and better progress the story. With that said, let's jump on into it. It begins with the narrator presenting us with a question known as the Riddle of Sorrows. It asks why the creator created a universe with so many imperfections, misery, and sin. That since the creator made all, is not by definition sin divine? He describes the third horseman, or horsewoman, Fury, the Rider of Rampage. He says that she is a terrible engine of rage and the most impatient and least predictable of the horsemen, but her role in this story is yet to be written. We pan over to Fury, sitting alone on a cliffside, presumably in the middle of nowhere. She speaks of how bored she is, sitting around waiting for a call from the council to receive her task. She wonders if she can die from boredom. She's then greeted by her horse Rampage, to which she jests that if she didn't love the horse so much, she would kill it simply to have something to do. A short time later, she finally receives a call from the council and heads there immediately. She's first met with an imprisoned War. She jokes about whatever it is he has done to land himself in this situation, but then when she hears it's the apocalypse, she's a little thrown off. The council tells her that the 7 deadly sins have been released on Earth from their prison, and that she is to go and put them back into it. That this mission is a delicate matter, and that the last time they fought the 7 deadly sins, it took all of the horsemen to do so. Fury asks the council why they're not sending Strife, as delicate is not her forte. To which the council replies that they can only send her, that Strife is out attending to other matters, and Death is nowhere to be found. She agrees to the mission, but only if they grant her her rightful place as leader of the Horsemen. They consent to her terms and tell her to first seek out a place called Haven. Her work will begin there. Before Fury leaves, the council assign a watcher to her. Not in the same manner as War was in Darksiders 1, she's not chained or leashed by this watcher. She protests at first, claiming that the council does not trust her, but ultimately she'll allow it. As she is leaving, War shouts to Fury to be on guard, that there are forces that conspire against them. He tells his sister to look in her heart, she knows he could not have done this. With that, Fury heads to Earth. While searching for Haven, Fury runs into Envy, the first of the sins. Fury defeats the sin and retrieves the Talisman of Sin from Envy's belt. She uses said talisman to imprison Envy and will do so for the rest of the sins as well. While Fury continues towards Haven, she says that she always knew War would bring about the apocalypse, and admits that she's actually grateful as she finally has something to do. Along the way, Fury stumbles upon our favorite back alley peddler demon Vulgrim, who of course is interested in trading information for souls. Vulgrim tells Fury that there are rumors that the Horsemen have been set up and are just pawns in a much bigger game. This plants a small seed of doubt within Fury, stacked upon her brother's words. This is fairly important given how egotistical and headstrong Fury is. Having a seemingly insatiable appetite for violence and an unending rage, this seed will grow and make Fury choose who she truly wants to be. But not yet. In Haven, Fury finds an outpost of both makers and humans. Ulthane is among the people there, and he tells Fury that they still believe in the balance, and that's why they're here safeguarding the rest of humanity. He asks Fury if that's why she's here, to serve the balance and help protect the humans. It's made obvious that Fury does not care for humanity. She thinks them weak and useless. A human by the name of Jones steps forward, shouting at Fury, asking her what is the point of this whole war, what they're even fighting for. Ulthane offers to help Fury in exchange for her aid. He'll forge her weapons if she uses a unique relic that will transport lost humans here to Haven. She agrees, and Ulthane points her in the direction of Wrath. When Fury finds Wrath, he's finishing up a fight with a group of angels. Fury doesn't hesitate to jump into action and summons her horse Rampage to her side. When Rampage appears though, the horse is seen fatally wounded, impaled by an angelic blade, and the horse falls over dead. Fury is furious. That's not a pun either. She's f***ing pissed. The fight between Fury and Wrath ensues, and we'll just call this one a double knockout as they both beat the crap out of each other. As Fury begins to lose consciousness, she is finally of mind that her and her brothers have been set up. A strange portal opens up around her, drawing her in as her vision fades to black. Fury awakens in a place known as the Hallows. She witnesses both an angel and demon approach the Lord of Hallows, requesting that he take their souls. They, being immortal beings and having their souls recycled every time they fall in battle, is a weariness no one can shake. The Lord of Hallows is the only being that can grant them respite from that torment, as he hollows them both, preventing their souls from returning to the Well of Souls. Fury begins questioning the Lord of Hallows as to why she is here. The Watcher appears from behind Fury, which prompts the Lord of Hallows to confirm his suspicions to Fury that the Council is indeed playing her. Fury says that nonetheless she is hunting the 7 deadly sins as they threaten the balance. The Lord of Hallows grants her the power of the Flame Hollow to aid her, and he tells her about a demon named Abraxas, that his very presence threatens the balance, and if she truly serves this balance, she'll bring him his soul. Before Fury leaves, the Lord of Hallows also bids her to open her eyes further to so much more occurring within the universe. As Fury is searching for the next sin, she wonders who it is exactly that is setting the horsemen up. Volgrim suggests to her that it's the angels. It was, after all, an angelic blade that killed her beloved horse. She eventually catches up with the sin Avarice and deals with him promptly. Right after doing so, though, she is brought back before the Lord of Hallows. He says that her imprisoning Avarice has proved the truth of her mission to him, and grants her another gift of power to bolster her strength in this mission. Fury then finds the sin Pride outside of an old church. Fury tries to attack her, but her weapon finds no purchase. Pride tells Fury that she isn't worthy to fight her, and that perhaps when the other sins are defeated, she will be then, but doubts that she'll make it that far. Pride then leaves through a portal that remains left open until such a time that Fury is worthy to fight her. As Fury continues to travel across the earth in search of the next sin, she's quite vocal about her distaste for humanity. She claims that they held the fruit of creation, but all they did was squabble among each other. She doesn't understand what the Creator saw in them. Fury does, however, find Sloth, and much like the other sins, dispatches of him and imprisons him within the talisman. Shortly after, Fury finds an outpost of angels and decides to pay it a visit in search of justice for Rampage. There she meets the Archangel Ulciel, who she accuses of betrayal and slaying her steed. He tells her to look around the rundown encampment of angels around her, that they can barely protect themselves, let alone wage a war with a horseman. He says he knows not of what happened to her Rampage, but he wants to strike a deal with Fury. He tells her that the sin Lust is nearby, and that some unknown demon has granted her a power that brings angels and demons alike back from the dead as undead. That the angels now war with demons and their undead kin. He says that if Fury takes care of Lust, he will help her within his power, and then grants her the crossblade as a gesture of goodwill. Fury finds Lust, and before the fight begins, gunshots pierce into Lust and she falls to the ground. Fury turns around to see the horseman Strife wielding his guns, as well as her 2 other brothers, War and Death. It's as though the horsemen are reunited. Her brothers tell Fury about how it is her rightful place to lead the horsemen, and that they pledge to serve her in leading in a new age on Earth. It is everything Fury has desired. It is then that she sees her way through Lust's illusion used to distract her. Fury launches her assault on Lust. Don't type that headline into your search bar. Fury begins to get an advantage in the fight when Ulciel shows up. Lust reaches out to him, looking to cut a deal to bring back his angels in return for helping her fight Fury. Blinded by this desire, Ulciel agrees, and Fury is forced to fight them both. She manages to weaken them both and asks Lust who gave her the power to raise the dead. She tells Fury that she is just a pawn in this game like everyone else. Fury's response is the same as ever, and into the talisman she goes. Fury then confronts Ulciel, but decides to spare his life, claiming that she understands Lust's appeal. Rather, she forges an alliance with Ulciel. She says that they'll need it if they want to survive whatever's going on. She truly serves only the balance. Fury is once again brought back before the Lord of Hallows. He tells her that he is impressed with the depth she has shown, and applauds her becoming aware to the powers that have kept her in chains. He gifts her yet another power and sends her back on her way. She makes her way to the depths to confront Gluttony. He tries to tempt her with desire similarly to lust, but she overcomes it. Gluttony then spits out a feasted upon head of Fury's horse Rampage. Now I know I made a furious joke earlier, but holy shit snack, she lays the ass whooping on Gluttony and blasts him into imprisonment real quick. And as you could have guessed, Fury is summoned to the Lord of Hallows yet again. He grants her another power, to which she replies this time by asking him why he keeps arming her. He tells her to remain on her path, and that the next encounter they have, only one of them will survive, and sends her back on her way again. Fury finally finds the demon Abraxas. She asks him why the Lord of Hallows wants him dead. As it turns out, Abraxas serves the Destroyer, and is in the process of building for his master a grand tower to rule from. Remember? The one War needed access to slay Straga and then the Destroyer himself in Darksiders 1? Pretty neato. But Fury is tasked to kill him and bring the Lord of Hallows his soul. Before Fury slays Abraxas, he claims that the Lord of Hallows means to hollow the world and suggests she kills him instead. Fury declines and then takes Abraxas' soul to the Lord of Hallows. The Lord of Hallows welcomes Fury to their final encounter, as a large magical dome is placed around them, sealing the Watcher outside of it. The Lord of Hallows says that if Fury is here to kill him, then now is the time to strike before his becoming. Becoming what exactly is not quite clear. She spares him and asks him about Abraxas' claim, that he wants to hollow the world and used her only as a means to gain the power to do so. He tells her that there was a time long ago that he belonged to the Charred Council, that he believed fully in the balance, but the Council had turned to policing heaven and hell and didn't account for humanity. He claims that humanity were meant to embody the universal balance, created to evolve. He says that someone means to prevent humanity from reaching its full potential, and says it's someone from the Charred Council. And that is why war is conspired against, and why the apocalypse was allowed to happen. He says that he means to keep the balance, and that means to protect humanity through Fury. He then asks Fury what she chooses, to which she replies, "I choose life." It is then that the Lord of Hallows has his becoming, and he vanishes in a flash of bright light and leaves behind for Fury an unknown relic. Fury heads back to Earth to finish hunting down the Sins. The Watcher says she notices a change in Fury's attitude and general awareness, as well as her seeing more worth in humanity than she did before. Fury ignores the Watcher and presses on towards her second battle with Wrath. This time, however, Wrath won't be so lucky, and Fury hands him his defeat. Now that she's defeated all the other Sins, Fury heads back to fight Pride. Pride makes Fury an offer. She says that there is no plan for balance, that it's all lies, but her and Fury could make these things happen. Fury rejects it and bests Pride in battle. Fury demands that she tell her about the Council. Pride tells Fury that the entire Council is infected with Pride. She says that it was them who released her and the other deadly sins. For what purpose would they serve without humanity to corrupt? It is then that the Watcher reveals herself to have been the sin Envy this entire time, and takes the Talisman of Sin from Fury. She uses the talisman to empower herself with the other sins trapped inside, causing devastation to the tower they're in. Fury jumps into action against Envy, but is pinned down by falling debris. With Fury trapped, Envy uses the talisman to also sap power from the Horsewoman. Envy tells Pride that the Charred Council set her up, that they want the 7 deadly sins and all of the Horsemen dead, but Envy plans to destroy the Council and claim Earth for her own. Fury is knocked from Pride's tower and falls all the way back down to Earth. She later awakens in the company of the human Jones. He explains to Fury that she now understands how humanity has felt. Dragged into a war they didn't ask for, left to their own devices against foes they don't understand or can effectively fight. All of humanity has been betrayed, and yet still they fight. He asks Fury if she will do the same. She admits to the sins of her past and can see them openly now after all she's been through. Jones speaks to her of hope, but she believes hope is lost. Fury asks Ulthane why the humans have helped her, to which he replies, "It's just what humans do." He tells her that the fight is not over, and Fury offers him the relic left behind by the Lord of Hallows, claiming that he'd be better off with it. He He tells her that she doesn't understand what she holds because she does not think herself worthy. He refuses it and says it was the Lord of Hallows' choice for her to have it. Ulthane leads Fury to a reflecting pool that he adjusted specifically for her, and it can take her to wherever her heart desires. She says she desires only to finish what the council began and steps through the portal. She is taken to the Charred Council, where a battle between them and Envy is raging on. The council demand Fury to dispatch of Envy. She replies by telling them to shut up, that they command only her scorn and will know her fury soon enough. Regardless, she defeats Envy and takes back the talisman, imprisoning Envy and effectively the other sins back inside. The council tells Fury that her and her brothers are to be punished like the impudent child she is. They begin to assail her with fire. She shouts that she will not die like this and will not allow their corruption to spread. She pulls out the relic left to her from the Lord of Hallows and holds it before them. The council halts, surprised that she wields what she does. They demand that she give it to them. She says she won't, because even though she doesn't know how to use it, she knows it can destroy them. They tell her that she'll never find out as they prepare her next attack. Fury grabs the Talisman of Sin and throws it towards the council. It's destroyed in a mighty explosion, rocking the council and the cavern within. Fury uses that time to jump back through the reflecting pool, returning her to Haven. Upon arriving, she sees that Haven is under attack by demons. Fury tells them all, human and maker alike, that the council is enraged and is in no doubt fueling this attack on the last remnants of humanity. She tells Ulthane that if he has a plan for the humans, that now is the time, that heaven, hell, and the council wish to see them annihilated. Fury reveals the truth about humanity to the humans, of their strength, and why there are forces that want them gone because they fear the humans. She tells them that they can one day win this war, but for now they must hide. Ulthane tells Fury that humanity will need a protector, and it's at this time that the Destroyer and a large force of demons arrive. The Makers stand their ground, sacrificing themselves for the humans to flee further back with Ulthane and Fury. Ulthane tells Fury that she needs to shuttle humanity away through the reflecting pool, as her heart will most desire a safe place for them. She says that she will, and that she vows to be humanity's protector. She tells Ulthane that her brother War is innocent, and that if he can help him in any way someday to do so. Ulthane agrees. As Fury departs through the portal with the humans, Jones is seen running towards the demon onslaughts, with bullets ringing from his firearms with deadly precision. A large demon is gunned down, and then Jones is revealed to have been the horseman Strife this entire time. But just as Fury notices, she and the humans are teleported through the portal, and then the in-game credits roll.
Fool! I told you to silence the traitor! No matter. The young one remains unaware of the power she possesses. The Council will deliberate this turn, and they will send war to Earth. A mistake. The final seal will be broken, and I will revel in the chaos. You may go.
Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, I hope you'll hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it for new video notifications. Consider following me on Twitter, and of course, if you want to support this channel even further, check out my Patreon page. I love you all. Peace, I'm out!